I'm not that savvy with the technical side of it. It seems to blow up with me after I work with it for a little while. So, My name is Sharon Corrigan, and I'm an intuitive energy healer, which means that I help you take care of all that beautiful energy that you use up on a daily basis. An energy healer is someone who takes care of the chakras and the meridians and the aura of the body. And that lays over the top of your physical body. So that's how all your energy gets inside of you, and that's what you use up throughout the day. And that's what I do, is I help take care. And I show you different things that you can do to take care of that energy. So how are we going, Kate? Have we got... Beautiful. So it looks like we can start. So namaste, good morning to everyone out there, and thank you for joining me this morning. Michelle has asked me to talk about sort of what we've been going through just at the moment. And of course, everyone sort of knows the situation, but everyone's situation will be different. And of course, now we're coming through to the steps of, okay, what are we doing now? We've been through our lockdown, and we've just had the nice word that maybe we can start to come out of this. And I sort of looked at lockdown as being a sloth. You just had to stay home, not use too much energy, not do too many things around yourself, as well as we try to, one, rest. That's what everyone really needed to be doing, was just rest. Everyone had been saying how busy they were and how they hadn't had time for family and friends. And I think everyone around the world was feeling that energy as all these new energies were moving in around our cycle. So it was a case of, okay, we'll just make everyone, we'll give everyone what everyone's been asking for and make them rest. So in a strange way, I will admit, but anyway, that's what happened. And the beautiful thing about that coming in, that energy coming in, was the fact that it did allow us to rest, and it did allow us to really reevaluate what we were doing and how fast we were moving and how we were missing the little things in our life that really, really matter. So hopefully you've had a chance to really think about what's been going on. And if you haven't, then now's a really, really great time to be doing that, because we've just had the new full moon coming into May, and that was all about transformation and knowing what you really wanted from yourself and how you really wanted to move forward and how you want your future to look, and how important that is for you to know that about what you are particularly wanting for you and your family, and how that's going to look and feel for you. So I just thought I would go in and I would just talk to you. Sometimes when we, I don't know if you know, in nature right at the moment, you've been seeing lots of butterflies, and butterflies are all about transformation, which is exactly what's been happening on our earth at the moment. Lots of different things happening, things we were not expecting, some we might have been, but there's been changes as well. And you probably would have seen in the insect world lots of dragonflies going around as well. And they're all about change. And that's exactly what has been happening. All about this big change, not only in the world, but in yourself as well. And Mother Nature has been taking advantage of all this beautiful slowness that's been going on, and she's been recharging her batteries as well. So it's everyone's been kept still and resting and recharging, which is really, really beautiful. But sometimes you might have been really panicked about what's been going on, and sometimes you've used up all the energy inside of you. So if that's been you, and you have now got to the stage where you've been overwhelmed, or your anxiety is really quite high because you're still not sure about where you're going. And as humans, we like to know or have a little bit of a plan about where we're going. And that's one of the hardest things we'll learn, is how to let that all go and go, well, this is where I'd like to go, and just allow universe to supply that to us. So if you are feeling overwhelmed, one of the things I tell my clients to do is to take off their shoes and go outside and walk on the grass. And just walk around your backyard if you've got one, or walk around your neighborhood. And all I want you to do is just breathe. Take really nice, big, deep breaths right down into the bottom of the stomach and fill them up, and then feel that coming through. And then just release, nice big breath, and go, like we take it in from the bottom of our stomach and go, and then, and just blow it back out. And you just keep on doing that till you feel your shoulders, that will usually be here, drop back into place. And once you've dropped back in your place, you know that your energies all come back in your body. Because one of the things is the fact that it changes, and our body, our energy lifts out of our body, and we're trying to make decisions that happen here. And that really doesn't give you a really, really good decision-making process, because you're up here trying to think and trying to put everything together, and that's not working. So you've got to breathe yourself back in to your body. So just walking around on grass will do that, because you're connecting back in with Mother Nature, in with Gaia. And so we're part of Gaia, so we've got to be connected in there. So if you're having a really powerful, stressful time, then maybe having a really nice walk around the block. You know, stopping to look at the trees and the plants that are in your neighborhood, and stopping to have a look at them and breathing in their prana as well. I know that if I've got a really, really big decision to do, and I've overwhelmed my mind with too much information and I just can't make the decision, then I'll take myself off to my favorite tree and I will just sit underneath there and breathe. And I will just feel my whole body just relax. And just the sensation of feeling, oh, I feel back in and in control once more. Because that's the greatest thing, is when you're up here trying to make decisions, you're not in control of everything that's around you and everything that you're feeling. So try those little things and see if they help you. If you're right into anxiety and it's not, and you're not getting anywhere, then you need to be looking. There's a whole heap on the internet of steps you can do if you have anxiety, of like, oh, I've got to take in 5 different like if I look out my window here, I can see the big tree, and then I can see my clothes pegs, and 5 things that are near to me, and I can bring in. So I'm bringing myself once again back down into my body, which is very, very important. So if I'm sitting in overwhelm, and probably I'm procrastinating and thinking, oh, I can't do anything, and I can't do this, and I can't move, right? Then for you, a little tip would be, okay, just for today, I'm going to make my bed. Now that might sound really little, but it's the little things that will get you through, right? And remember, if you're a procrastinator or someone who's in real big overwhelm, it's not about being perfect. It's just about doing, right? And it's about doing our little things, right? So today it's like making my bed. I've made my bed. As you're going into your bed that night, go, I really like the fact that my bed was made. I like getting into a nice, freshly made bed, right? So that inspires you to get up and do it the next day as well. It's the same with if you're at home and it's the dishes and they're piling up in the sink and they're not getting done and stuff like that. It's like, okay, I'm just going to wash my dishes. If I don't do anything else today, I'm just going to do that. So then you can start off with your bed, and then you can do, oh, today I'm going to do the dishes. So it's accomplishing little things all the time so that you are building up, right? Remembering once again, it's not about having it perfect. It's just having it done, right? Sometimes when we're procrastinating, it's because we're feeling so much stress. We're not sure as which direction we should be moving, and we're not sure on how to move as well. So we just stay, right? So you need to move yourself out of that. So doing just a little thing each day will help you shift that procrastination, right? Another really great tip, and especially if you are procrastinating, is to start doing some form of deep breathing, right? It's like go on the internet and put in deep breathing and all these beautiful examples will come up, right? But it's just about breathing in as deep. And you should, when you deep breathe, you should feel the bottom of your stomach fill up. And as you breathe in or breathe out, you should feel it, your tummy moving back in. So you take a nice deep breath into the count of 7. I like to hold for 4 and then breathe out. And breathe out to the count of 8. And just do that and practice that each day as well. Because that then gets you into another mindfulness, which you would have heard of, which is meditation sort of thing. So, and some people say, oh, I can't meditate, I can't get my mind to be quiet. And it's really at the beginning, it's not having a quiet mind. You've got to teach your mind to be quiet. How many times have you been really, really busy and you've said to yourself, oh, I'll remind myself later, I've got to do that. So when you sit or when you form into meditation or when you just find a quiet time, all these thoughts come back in the brain because that's what you've asked your brain to do, to remind you when you were quiet, sort of thing. That's why you can be doing the washing or the dishes and stuff like that, and all of a sudden you have all these great thoughts and stuff like that because you're doing something that's mundane and you're quite used to doing, so you don't think about. And so the mind goes, oh, she's quiet. Then we'll tell her all those things that she asked us to remind us of later. So then we have, thoughts are racing and I'm just trying to put them all together. So then it's really, really good to start if you want to do a meditation. There's nice little quick meditations on the thing. I was talking to my daughter yesterday and she was saying how that she was loving the app that she's got that tells you how to do different things throughout the day, and it takes you right through. If you accomplish this, then you do your breathing, and then we'll do a meditation, and there's even, she said there was even meals and everything like that that you could be doing throughout the day. So if you're a person who likes a bit of order and likes a little bit of structure, then there's lots of them out there where you can sort of research and find the one that really suits you. So you can make it easier on yourself so you're not having to gather all that information. If you are a person who likes to gather information, then hey, have fun. Go there and find out what is appropriate for you, what suits you. I'm a person who likes to gather information, so people tell me stuff and then I've got to go find out, and then I'll find out lots of different things and I'll try lots of different things and then I'll see what really suits me, sort of thing. So it's all out there for you to do. And remember, it's not about being perfect, it's just about doing, sort of thing. We always put, oh, I can't do something because I won't do it right. Or maybe we've been told that we don't always do things right. So then we'll stop ourselves, oh, I won't do it right, so I won't even try. Sort of thing. And that was just someone having a bad day and saying that to you. And you may have chosen to believe that. But now how beautifully that you have a choice to go, oh, well, I don't necessarily have to believe that anymore. Things that you were told when you were a child doesn't necessarily really mean that that's who you are now as you've grown. Especially if you've grown, you've had a few children, and I'm sure they've taught you lots of things. And if you go back and really look at yourself and you see how much you've actually accomplished throughout your life and things that you've actually done that you were told once before that you couldn't do, but you've actually done them. Probably not in the way that the person was saying, but still in that way of being just peaceful and the right way for you. And that's the whole thing about self-care and self-love. It's knowing what's right for you, right? It could feel and taste to you So much different if someone says, oh, look, I do it this way. My advice is, well, give it a go. See how it feels and tastes for you. And if it doesn't feel or taste right for you, then go, oh, I need to tweak that. I need to make it my way, sort of thing. I need to put in my things so that it feels like it belongs to me. And a lot of times when we're finding out who we are, we forget to connect in with heart, right? So one of the beautiful meditations that you can do if you're at that stage and you're looking at meditations is a heart meditation. Because one of the steps we're going to do through when we're moving out of this process is all about moving into our heart, all about teaching ourselves exactly who we are and how our heart sings and what it sings for, sort of thing. And one of the biggest things that I like to teach people is that you can't love someone else fully until you love yourself fully. You've got to learn to go, okay, excuse me, I'm lovable, warts and all. And if someone else doesn't appreciate that, then that's their loss. Or it's like, okay, I don't need everyone to love me because I love me. And that's a really hard thing to learn, is to how to love yourself unconditionally, because you've been told so many times that, you know, you weren't lovable or you're made to feel that way. And this is all about showing you. And you've got to show you how much you love you, even with everyone else barking in your ear that you're not good enough and stuff like that. So that is the journey that we're really on right at the moment. It's all about self-care and moving into the heart. So we're having a bad day, right? Take those shoes off, go walk on the grass, put your hands on your heart and just breathe. Just say to yourself, it'll be okay. I am safe. I am love. And just do that as you're walking around the grass, and just see how that changes the feeling within inside of you, right? Because if you're saying every morning when you get up and say, good morning, gorgeous, I'm in for a beautiful day, right? You've set your intention for the day. And when something comes to knock you off that, you just got to breathe and put your hand on your heart and go, I'm safe. I'm love. We'll get through this and we'll walk through this, right? And that's what you can do for you, right? And then the brilliance of this is that you get to know how good you actually are. So when someone else pats you on the head and go, oh, that was really great, that's just topping. Know what ingredients you want inside you. Think of yourself as this cake, right? What luscious ingredients do you want inside you? Do you want some cheap flour, or do you want some really nourishing flour? What ingredients are you putting inside of you to nurture you, so that when you have your hardships out there, you go, it's okay, we'll get through this, because you know deep down inside of you that you have this love for you. And this love for you is one of the best things to help spread throughout your body. So it's really, really important that you remember just to breathe. And it's also a really great tip if you're having a frustrating argument with someone and you're not feeling like you're being heard, right? Or someone is demanding an answer from you and you're not sure what that is. And then all of a sudden you can just put your hand up and say, oh, just wait a minute. And you just need to breathe. So you start to bring those answers back inside you. And if you can't find an answer because someone's yelling at you and you're not hearing anything, you just go, stop. Can't answer you because I can't hear me, right? So they're all little tips that you can use as you're moving throughout the day. And remember the fact that now we're sort of going to be like a turtle or a tortoise, whichever one that you quite like, right? Slow and steady at the moment, right? We're not going to rush around. We're going to make our steps out of this quarantine, out of our lockdown, as we like to think it, and we're going to give ourselves the grace to do it slowly. Right? We're going to look around and we're going to go, okay, I have to go to work, but when I come home, I'm going to make home my sanctuary. Or I have to work for part-time, so those part-times I'm out there, but at home I'm still safe and stuff like that. Or I'm going to recoup, or I'm going to make sure that, you know, I know things about me that make me feel good. Right? So it's getting to know those things. Is it coming home and having a bath? For me, it's coming home and having a shower and then putting my head underneath thing and believing, I use my imagination and believe that the shower is a waterfall and I'm standing underneath the most beautiful waterfall. I close my eyes and I can see the shimmering rainbows coming off the gleaming water sort of thing. And I also imagine it going through my body as well, cleaning on the inside of my body as well, and nourishing and cleaning all those chakras and all those energy ports inside of me, going all the way down to my feet. So when I hop out of my shower, I feel really clean, both inside and out. So that's what nourishes me if I've had a really, really hard day at work and I'm looking to restore some of my energy. So give that a try and let me know how that goes for you. I'm really interested how these different tips help for different people, right? So another thing you can do is, if you've had a bad day, and this is really great if you're at home at the moment, is to make sure you take a cuppa and go just to sit outside, right? If you've got children, hold them all outside and go and enjoy a cuppa while they play and do whatever, just outside, right? Especially before 10, because that's really good before the vitamin D, because you won't need any sunscreen or anything like that. And you'll just allow the sun to come in and nourish the inside as well. So it's really an easy couple of things that you can do. It's just enjoying yourself outside while you're having a cuppa. I'm not a big tea or coffee drinker, so mine's usually lemon in warm water, sort of thing. Now, a beautiful tip right at the moment is making sure that now we can actually get out and spend some time with friends, is being in nature. Each of us will find that we have a particular energy cycle from nature that will really just restore us. For my husband, it's being in the water. I'm sure he's a dolphin in a previous life. He loves surfing and he loves to be in the water. He can be sick as anything and he's going, I'll go to the beach, and he'll come home and it will drained everything out and he'll just feel so much better. For me, I'm more likely on the shoreline, walking up and down the shore in the sand, having the wind come through me. I really like wind, and I really like how it feels as it whirls its way around me and fills me and stuff like that. Some people will find that going and walking, going for a hike, or just sitting underneath a tree, or being in the bush, something like that. So discover which one fills you up, and you'll know the difference. Even if you're feeling okay, when you go to those places, you'll just feel better because your energy would have just been topped right up. Sort of thing. So there's another thing you can discover about yourself. Which form of energy? Is it air? Is it wind? Is it water that you really like to be in, right? Is it being on top of a mountain, right? Or is it being in a forest? So discover that about yourself. So these are all really beautiful and interesting things to get to know about you, sort of thing. And then you can also, if you have children, you can discover that about your children. So, you know, when we're having a day when everyone's at everyone, you know, you just need to throw your hands up in the air and go, ah, have a big scream, and they'll all stop and look at you and tell them to have a big scream and get it all out, and then move outside and have them run around and stuff like that. Because sometimes when you're really pent up, one of the best things you can do is just to let it out, right? The frustrations that we're carrying, and sometimes we hold them inside of us, and that's no good for our body, because if we're swallowing too many frustrations, then that leads to ailments or a dis-easement in the body, right? And a lot of energy workers work with blockages in the body and having to shift them, and dis-easements that are in the body, because everyone has been told you can't be too loud, you can't scream, you can't let it out, you can't show emotions, you can't cry, you can't do this. And they're all things that we should be doing just naturally. Because we let it out naturally, then it's out, it's dealt with, and then we can move forward. And that's what I find with a lot of my clients, is the fact that they haven't been allowed to express a lot of these just natural emotions that we have, right? You've been a really chatty child who's never quiet, and all of a sudden, you just be quiet, right? Because, you know, mum's in a state and she just can't hear you, and it's just all noise to her, sort of thing. But it might be quite natural for you just to chat. And you can chat about anything. My best friend is a chatter. I'm a listener, she's a chatter. So we go quite well. Yeah. And she can talk about anything. I think she could talk drinking water. I know that. She's done that. But it's just, we just have to discover who we are. Right? And that's a really great thing to do, is especially at the moment, because if you're knowing who you are and you're knowing what you want for your future, and that's really good intentions to be setting right at the moment, is to getting to know what you want for your future. Where do you see yourself? Right? Where do you want to be? Right? Is the job that you're doing something that you really love? Is it something that you like to do? Or is it just bringing in money? Sort of thing. Because maybe you could go back and do some learning that will get you a job that you really like. Or if you're happy in the job you want and don't want to change that, then maybe doing something for you, because we are to be all of service, but we can be of service to ourselves as well. I think we forget that one very strongly, that being a service to ourselves is just as important as being of service to someone else. So it's really important that we look at those things in our life and go, well, if I do this as a hobby, or if I join this as a group, then that's satisfying me. I'm giving something back to me. So that's another thing just to be thinking of, especially at this time when you're putting your attentions on what you want and how you want to move forward, sort of thing. So now there is some little techniques about that you could be doing, that you can just decide what you want to do with them. Like, I have a really great little technique, and I don't know if I can do this because my internet went. No, I'm not going to be able to do it. But if you're feeling like you're not in your body, you know, some days you wake up and you feel, oh my God, I don't think I've slept well, and I feel really tired and things aren't going well. That means maybe you were out dreaming and you've jumped back in your body and you just haven't aligned yourself very, very carefully back into the body. So that's a really great one if you're having a shower and then all of a sudden feel and push. Just get your hand and push your energy back into your body, just like that sort of thing. Another great way is, I didn't bring it in, was to run a scarf right down your body, right? There for those times when you're feeling really tired, but you don't feel like you're really connected in with you. And as you run the scarf down, right down the side of your body and bring it down the front and right down your back as well. that will help you to feel more connected, because it will push your energy in, because your energy has a tendency to move and flux as well as up, but sideways as well. So, and it's really great that if you've had a fall, then I recommend you go see an energy worker so they can make sure that all your energy is put back. Some of my clients have had car accidents and they come along, and what we do is we push, we pull. That probably sounds like I yank it back in, but we gently bring it back into alignment so it's back into this center column of alignment. Right? And everyone has a big center column that goes through, that connects them up with spirit and connects them down with Gaia. And sometimes we get swayed in and out, and it's about bringing that column back into alignment for you. So another one, it's called the hookup, and I won't be able to show you to, but what you do is you just take your two fingers and you stick them into your belly button. You bring the other two up to here, up to your third eye, and what you do is you push them both in at once as far as you can, and then push up, and then hold to the count of 30. What we're doing now is we're working with the meridians in the body, and what that does is it then aligns the meridians around in the body. And that's a really, really great one to do if you're feeling just a bit out of sorts, or you're really low on energy. That will do. Sometimes you might hit the 3 o'clock and all of a sudden you're looking for a bit of chocolate. So before you hit the chocolate, eat chocolate. Enjoy chocolate. I won't say no to chocolate. But before you do that, try this little trick. Just bend over in the chair that you're in, put your hands on the bottom, and just what I call fluff up the energy. Move up your legs, move up your body, bring it all up and move up, and then close your hands. Because what we've got to do, tendency, especially if we sit in front of a computer for a long time, is the fact that our energy pools and it gets lower and lower and lower and lower. And if you're anything like me, I can start off on the computer and I'll go, oh, I've only got a little bit to do, and I can be there for ages because I'll wander and I'll be doing research this, and I'll as I said to you, I'm a person who likes to research and stuff like that, so I could be and have all these tabs open and going, I still can't get enough information. So I've learned that little trick makes it really easy and better for me for when I've got to stand, because I've replaced my energy back in my body instead of being really heavy in your feet. Because you ever stood up and you've been really heavy in your feet and tried to move them? And you go, you could half a dozen steps before the energy starts to flow, starts to move. So that's really good that you do that little trick. Just got to fluff up, bring it all up, and then you can stand and then you can move and stuff like that. But a really good thing to remind yourself, and maybe you can put a sticky note on your computer, or if you've on your phone or something, so every 20 minutes it moves, because every 20 minutes you should move, right? You should move in the chair, and it could be that you need to do twists in your legs and stuff like that, and just move your legs or move your arms, move your eyes. It's very good for your eyes to be moved every 20 minutes from your computer as well. So those little tips are really, really quite good, and they help to move your energy as well. And then you won't find the fact that you have that big thud in your feet as you try to move. Just trying to think of a few other little things. I'm just thinking that for some of you out there, I want you to be really, really conscious of your thoughts, right? Especially at this time. They're very important. Our thoughts are very important. They create a lot of what we do and how we feel and how we think, right? So it's really important that you pay attention to what you're actually saying to yourself, right? So for my clients, all of them, I tell them that on the mirror as they hop out of the shower is a little sign, and it's on mine, it's good morning, gorgeous, we're in for a beautiful day. And I said, when you finish laughing over that statement, right? Because you, at the beginning, you don't always believe it, right? But after a little while, you get used to saying that to yourself. So you get used to having little conversations. So when you're doing something and all of a sudden you are yelling and screaming at yourself because you're not doing it right, that's when you've got to say, stop. Don't talk to me that way. Don't talk to me that way, right? So you're going to be very conscious of what you say and what you don't say. So have a listen to yourself as you talk to yourself. And make a note of what you are saying. Oh, this is a bad day. Everybody hates me. Think I'll go eat worms, right? Or are you saying, oh, that didn't turn out the way I wanted to. Oh, that was a bit frustrating. And go, okay, let's take a breath. Let's look at it differently. Let's get up, let's move, let's have a different thought, and before we come back down and have a look at it. So you're not berating yourself. You're not making you out to be stupid, because that's the worst thing that you can be doing, especially at this time. Well, at any time. It makes no difference at any time, because you are what you think. So if you think you're garbage and you can't do nothing, then of course that's how you're going to move. And that's how you're going to feel about you. So it's really, really important that you think about these things, and you also think about, what can I say to myself that makes me feel better? Or think of it this way. Think of when you're doing stuff, think of it this way. What would love do? Oh, it's a really strange statement, isn't it? But what would love do? Would love look at me as so I'm really stupid and can't do nothing and can't accomplish anything in this world? Or would it go, how beautiful, we get to make a different decision. That one didn't work. Let's discover a different way that might work for us. So just give that a thought when you're moving forward throughout this, in whichever way it feels good for you. And the other thing you might like to do, and this is a really great tip, is to start a little grateful journal. So in the morning, what you do, what am I grateful for? Could be waking up. Lots of people haven't, right? Especially this time. So you're grateful that you woke up this morning. You're grateful that you have this day where you get to make decisions, and if they don't work out for you, you can make another one, right? And then at night time, before you go to bed, write at least 3 things that you're grateful for. I'm grateful that I got through this day, could be just one of them. But some days are like that. But I'm grateful that I got through this day, right? Or I'm grateful that my day showed me different ways to be doing things that I hadn't discovered before. So if you're grateful and you bring gratitude into your life, then that opens just so many doors that have been just waiting in front of you to be opened, right? And remember, when you make a decision and it doesn't quite go the way you thought it was going to go, then just go, how beautiful. That didn't quite work out the way I was thinking. But if I really look at it, if I take this and this and make a different step or make a different decision, maybe that will. So that's a beautiful thing. You can make a decision. It's not the be all or end all of everything. It's just a decision. Make another one if that one didn't work out. And you have that choice about you. Isn't that just absolutely amazing to think that whatever you do, you can make another choice? Mm. So we must be coming nearly up to our time for finishing. I want to thank you for being here with us today. this has been really, really great. It's something, it's part of my journey to get up and talk to people and just pass on all these little tips that I've been learning working with different people at my clinic, at my centre, sort of thing. I'm really passionate. So I just want to say namaste. I'll see you soon. Thank you.